Climate change continues to impact negatively on the globe, so much so that it has become so tough to manage. Various interventions world over are being put in place to combat the well-known threats and devastating impacts. The establishment of the One Planet Coalition in 2017 during the Paris Agreement on climate change is one intervention that is designed to mobilize researchers and young people to work for the climate. Recently, 45 candidates across Africa, including 4 from Malawi, alongside their mentors, gathered in Nairobi, Kenya for scholarship awards. Austin Phiri, a chief agricultural research scientist from Vumbo Research Station, received 2 awards and is optimistic that the studies he is to undertake will help to develop systems that can improve agricultural practices, hence increasing productivity despite the onset of climate change.
In the agricultural sector, our role is to develop technologies in order to adapt to the effects of climate change. Africa, as you know, contributes not very much to greenhouse gas emissions that are responsible for the climate change, but we have vast capacity to help mitigate globally the impacts of climate change through practicing or implementing agricultural practices that are climate smart, that can be able to absorb the shocks of climate change in terms of increasing productivity, but also giving farmers that leverage over food shortages when there is climate variability, when the weather is not stable, when there are droughts, when there are floods. At least they should have enough produce, they should have enough food that they can depend on when things are not stable in terms of climate.
As a mentor to Phiri, Associate Professor Joyce Njoloma from the World Agroforestry Center expects the candidates to be vigilant in training farmers on how they can manage their farms to avoid contributing to climate change.
Through the trainings that the candidates have gone through, we have actually gone through to understand what is climate change, what are the causes of climate change, and we do realize that indeed farmers and the nation at large, we have contributed in one way or the other, in the sense that our practices, especially when I zero down to agriculture, they are actually becoming very unsustainable. They're actually poor practices. I would give an example where we are actually burning. So burning is not only on farmers' fields, but you also find people, whether it's accidentally or intentionally, burning the forests. And that has a huge impact. And so I would agree that we are the causes and we need to understand what this is all about. It is expected that these candidates, as they progress with their work, they will be sensitizing their kind of coverage, and maybe a lot more farmers and people will get to have an emphasis, because I wouldn't say that to know, because we all know. And all we need is to be reminded, and with emphatic kind of language.
The fellowship is targeting more than 600 African and European scientists, and will develop partnerships with an opportunity to interact and share information. Bernard Ndege, MPC Prime News, Lilongwe.